Welcome back, guys. Today is September 24th, Wednesday, 2025, and today we blew our account. Not necessarily what I want to be saying, but on the upside, I'm not really bothered by it, and these market conditions are just tough for me. So coming into the day, I was still pretty bullish, and I know that was my first mistake. Was my bias. Overnight, we inverted this 4 hour, both of these 4 hours, and we rebalanced, and that is something that for some reason I just missed. I don't know why, but I missed that big time. And so when I was going down on the 15-minute, all I could see was this, and then all-time highs again. We had relative equal highs at all-time highs, and a lot of unmitigated zones over here, and that's what I was looking at. I saw we had relative equal highs up here as well, and so I opened when we swept this internal high and then came down and swept this low. I was looking for us to bounce out of like these areas here, and I was just completely and utterly wrong today. So when I took my trade, my first trade was right here. We had a resweep, and I was using this 1 minute. And any other day, this is pretty clean, honestly. Like, if the bias was correct, this is a really nice trade. Another thing that just, didn't process in my mind was the fact that we had a protected high here. And I was on a hike at the time. I was having a really good time with a buddy of mine. We were there for sunrise. It was beautiful. And I was watching the sunrise and also watching the charts, and we got up at 4:45 a.m. to go do it, and I don't know. I think there's a mixture of things that kind of played a part in why I didn't have perfect analysis today. And in hindsight, I shouldn't have even tried to take a trade. I just thought it would be interesting to see if I could take a trade on the mountain. That would be it. It was super cool. But yeah, so that was my first trade, and then from there, I really just tried to chase price. I was doing this all on my phone. And so my second entry was this 5-minute inverse. I was like, okay, we did create equal lows here, but for some reason my stubborn ass was still super bullish. So this was my second trade. Lost that pretty quickly, and then from there I did switch my bias, but I think I took a short. When was it? I guess I could turn these on. Yeah, right here. So my last trade was the second sell order for 2 minis, and it was this on this inverse, and I was just thinking, okay, well, my bias is obviously wrong, which I was right about, and I was targeting at that point these equal lows here. So the trade looked like this. And it's so difficult for me to put my stop up here. But it wouldn't have even mattered because I didn't have enough drawdown to even go past a certain point, so it just automatically stopped me out. Otherwise, this would have been a really annoying trade to have been in, but it would have been a win. It is what it is. So that's pretty much that, and that's really all I want to say about the charts today. I kind of wanted to go over some other stuff. So, I mean, I'm happy that I'm not super upset by this or anything. But I was thinking to myself, I was like, what was the reason that I felt the need to I guess it was revenge trading. What was the real reason that I felt like I needed to do that? And I think what it comes down to, for me at least, personally, is there's just, it's like, there's just a lot of, one, I have a lot of pressure on myself, and two, I think I compare myself to people who have already been through all this bullshit of like blowing accounts, buying new evals, trying to pass them quickly, get their first payout. Like a lot of the people in the space that are mentor capable, they've been doing this for years, and I mean, I haven't even had my first payout or anything, and I think I'm trying to, I don't know. I know how to trade, okay? I really do. I've backtested, not the most, but I backtested a shit ton. I've backtested, I think, over 4 years worth of data, using the same entry model. Excuse me, looking for the same confluences, the same, thought process every single time. And I guess what I'm just missing out on now is a lot of, one, all-time highs are tricky for me still, and it doesn't help that I had the bias wrong, and I don't know, I guess just, because my first loss today was only a $300 loss, and I was still up like $800 on the account, which isn't a lot, but it's still more than having to get a new account. So I don't understand why I think I need to, make it in 1 week. I think I'm just too, I don't know. Meow. Okay, here we go. I think just where I'm at in life and where I want to be are really far apart, and it's difficult for me. I just graduated college. I don't have any sort of a reliable job. I do have some really fun plans in the near future, and I was working a job, but it's I don't know, I just feel somewhere deeper inside of me that shit is just not for me. I around the same time I got my diploma, or not my diploma, my degree from university, I also got my funding certificate from Apex, and I kind of just I just held them both next to each other, and I the Apex funding certificate meant more to me than the degree did that I just spent 4 years at university for. Um, and I don't think that is just some sort of a fluke. I think that means something about me as a person, and it proves that my values are more aligned with those that have already made it in this space and feel like they're meant for more in their life than just living I don't want to like say average and diss people that are happy and have great lives that don't really chase anything, but that's basically what I'm saying is like I don't want to just live my life working 8, 9, 10 hours 5 days a week, maybe some days on the weekends, at a job I don't even like, for people I don't even like, and not make any sort of like actual money, not have any freedom, not have any, you know, space to be resourceful for those that you care about, or be reliable, super reliable, or like, I don't know, something I always think of is like, if I just accepted a normal life and I had a normal job and I was okay, and I've accepted it, so I'm like what, relatively happy, and then all of a sudden my mom gets super sick or something, and um, no one else for whatever reason can really afford to like send her to a really good doctor, a good hospital, and it all comes back to me, and I have to bring her in somewhere, and then they try to operate on her, whatever the issue may be. Like, let's say it's a heart problem, and they operate on her, but they're kind of shitty doctors, right? They're just local community doctors, and it goes south. And what if that was avoidable with having taken a different path in my own life? Like, if when I like it, I'm obviously gonna stick to trading. So when I make it in trading, and I feel like I have to make it, so I'm just saying, when I make it in trading, and I'm rich, or not rich, but I'm wealthy, I make more than the average person, and I have free time, I have resources, and I'm able to support people I love, and the same thing happens to my mom, I'm going to be able to take her to the best doctors in the best city from anywhere in the world. And it's like, if you hadn't taken this path of life, the same thing would have happened, yet you would have had two different outcomes, which drastically would affect you. And people always say like money doesn't buy happiness, and I honestly agree, but not in the way that you would think. I think money money does buy happiness indirectly, not directly. People like, I think people get mixed up, like, if you have all this money, like, you could still cry in a Lambo and you could be depressed, and that's true, but what about these circumstances where your mom's about to die and you can't afford to take her anywhere, or you have a dog that you really love, he's like your best friend, he gets hit by a car and his leg's broken, needs to be amputated, and you can't afford it, too busy going to work every day just to make ends meet, can barely afford to put food on your own table, and now your dog needs help, and you have to put it down because you can't afford to save your dog. My dad came in here, but I kind of forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, just everything about having the resources to support people and also be free, free to do so, is really big to me. So I think tying all of that back to trading and kind of reasoning behind why I do stupid shit like today, just blowing accounts for no reason, is because I compare myself to people who are already in the position to do that stuff. You know, like, they're already where they need to be. They've already, you know, retired their parents. They have the car, the dream life. You know, they can travel wherever, be wherever at any time, and support their loved ones. And, you know, seeing that every single day over and over and over for the past almost a year, I think it makes me feel further behind than I really am. And obviously, like, the best way to combat that is just to not watch them, or to not keep tabs on them, but sometimes I feel like I need to know that that's possible. Because I feel like if I go off on my own for too long, I might start to veer into thoughts that kind of lead me to feel as though I'm not really capable, or I don't know. Like, there's two worlds to it. Like, part of me is really inspired by those people, right? Like, yeah, some of them may be complete retards, dumbasses, and they might use their money in stupid ways or whatever, you know. Some people are really truly like that, but that in itself is sometimes even a little bit motivating. Like, oh, I can just be a complete absolute dumbass and still somehow, if I trust this, put the time in, I can still get to where where they are, if not better, you know. So it's difficult. It's a weird mental thing for me personally. I don't know how it is for everyone, but for me, I just want it now. And that's just not gonna fly. So yeah, I don't want to hold you guys for too long. I know the recording before this was already pretty long, so yeah, I'm gonna take a break. Not a big break, maybe just till tomorrow. But I will be getting another TopStep account. You know, this shit has to continue. I think honestly all I need is just consistency, more time, follow my fucking rules, and just, I don't know, lock in a little bit more. This lighting makes me look so pale, by the way. Okay, this is more like my skin tone, but when I'm back here, I look like an albino. Crazy. But anywho, I'm going to let you guys go now. I will be here tomorrow though. I'll probably make a video. I don't see why I wouldn't, but yeah, sorry that today's video was a little bit different, maybe a little bit boring for some of you, or not what you were looking for, but this is the reality of trading. This is the tough shit that you gotta have grit and kind of grab yourself by the balls and be like, all right, gotta make this work somehow. It doesn't matter how many times I fail, figure out why I'm failing. And it could be, you know, it could be the craziest reasons. As long as you have the objectivity to sit down, talk to yourself, and think about who you are as a person, who you want to be as a person, and then maybe like think about that person and try to work backwards as though like let's say you are already where you want to be in life. You are already your future self. Work backwards. Try to pinpoint, certain things along the journey that you think could be next and you think could take things to the next level for yourself. I think that's where I'm at right now. It's like I have the mechanical capabilities, know what I'm looking for, I have a decent amount of experience, more than enough to start making profits. Now it's just a matter of controlling my mind. Don't let my own progress and my own efforts seem insufficient in comparison to those who have already made it to the position I want to be in life. And also, just don't stop. I think, this is probably the point where a lot of people give up, if not already. But like you get so into it, you're like, oh, this is how it's gonna go. I'm gonna make this much money. I already made like 20K this week, and you've been trading like 15 minis, and you get lucky on one trade, and then like at the beginning, that's how it was for me, and then you actually get into it. You learn technical analysis. You learn the concepts. You have however many confluences that you look for. You have your rules. You have your A+ setups. You have your, and you're actually risk managing. You're actually scaling, and stuff like that. And like you're actually in the game, like for real now. Like you're actually in the game for real. You know what to do. You know how to do it. But you lose to yourself. You lose to your mind. You overthink. You overanalyze. You second guess yourself. And that's the shit that I'm dealing with now. Is I'm like today I had zero emotion losing my account. I was just like, just another one, right? And I think honestly that could be a good thing. And maybe learning to channel myself in that direction is like, oh, this failure objectively means this. How do I fix this? Go from here and learn how to not make that mistake over and over and over. I think today it was just, I wanted, like yesterday sucked. Took a losing trade. That was lingering on my mind this morning. I was like, okay, I gotta make up that trade. And also, I want to progress this account. I want to pass this fucking account. I want to be in a spot where I am about to see profits, right? And I forced it. I didn't take the time to properly analyze the market. I was too busy thinking about only what I wanted, which was longs, because I didn't properly analyze the market. And I don't know, like there was a handful of things, but I think I noticed them all after, so that's good. And yeah, this isn't like a big thing for me, but it might seem like a big thing for you guys. I'm not sure. I mean, I know I have maybe a couple consistent watchers. I don't really know who my audience is yet, but on this channel, this is what it's all about. If you're still watching the video to this point, thank you, I appreciate it, but I'm here to document this shit for myself. And I want to have a community at some point maybe, but this is mainly for myself. I need to have a place where I can come and collect my thoughts and then be able to look back at them, and then also hopefully inspire someone. I know I don't have a lot of consistent viewers, or I only have 20 subscribers at this, right now, which is fine. You guys are great. I'm super happy with y'all who are subscribing. Maybe you're watching this, but I just also want to show like the raw reality of this type of journey. Trading it's tough shit for real. It takes a lot of grit, and it takes a lot of dropping the ego. I've been a pretty egotistical guy in my life, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've been a good guy. I'm not just like a dick to everybody, but in terms of things that I care about and I'm passionate about, in those spaces I prefer to think that I'm better than people. And that has its downfalls, and one of those downfalls in trading, at least, is you're gonna get fucking humbled real quick. You are going to get humbled. No matter how good you think you are, no matter how much money you may have already made from the markets, as soon as you get to that point where you're like, this shit's easy, I run this shit, I own the market, nothing can happen to cause me to lose money. Like, I don't know what people would think at that point, because I haven't been to that point, but I'm just assuming that some people get ahead of themselves, and at that point you will get humbled, and you will have to start from square one. Like, yes, you will have the experience and stuff, but there's nothing stopping you from getting a smack across the face because you're being a dumbass and you're acting like you run the world. And so I don't think I run the world, but I definitely do think that sometimes I force the little bit of ego that I have sometimes on the market. Just like, yes, you need to believe in yourself, but I don't really know where I'm going with this. Basically, just drop the ego, be objective, stick to data, your stats, what do they tell you, where are you going wrong, and go from there. For me, this whole video, what it's all been about is I know how to trade, I can do technical analysis, I know my confluences, I know what I'm looking for, and I know what I want, I know what my goals are, but don't get too ahead of yourself thinking that you can get them all this soon. And it really can just flip like that. You get one account, you pass it, and all of a sudden, you're on your way to your first payout. You get your first payout, and then you flip that into more accounts, and you have a great month or two, and you're up like 15 grand. Let's say you did really well, and that's how fast it can kind of just flip. Like, you don't really know when that's gonna come. Like, personally, I want it to come tomorrow, and I think that's one of my problems, is like I'm trying to force it instead of just letting it happen. Like, I'm not trusting in myself and in my capabilities. I'm more so trying to force myself into a position that other people are already in, that have already gone through this process a million times, rather than just accepting it as part of the game. Like, this shit's gonna happen. So I don't know, that's my rant. Definitely more of a yap session today, so sorry for those of you who maybe wanted more of a technical trading type of video, but this was definitely more of a psychological video. I hope maybe some of these thoughts and experiences that I'm having can reflect positively for you guys in your journey, and just help you out in some way, whatever that may be. So today we blew a funded, and we were able to realize why. Tomorrow we're going to be back on a new account, and we'll go from there. If tomorrow's pretty dog shit, though, probably not going to make a video if I don't take a trade. So that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay safe. Alright, guys. Peace out.